Okay, good morning, algebra students. Today we're going to continue multiplying polynomials, but today we're going to multiply a polynomial by another polynomial. So get out your notes and let's get started. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you 3 ways to multiply polynomials by a polynomial. First is just distribution, next is FOIL method, and the last one will be the box method. And then you choose which method is good for you. So let's start with distribution. Distribution means I'm going to take this first polynomial and I'm going to take each term and multiply it times each term in the second polynomial. So what I would do is I would take this x and multiply it times that x, and x times x gives me x squared. Next, I would take the 2 and no, I wouldn't. I would take the x and then multiply it times the negative 5. So the x times the x and the x times the negative 5. Well, x times negative 5 is negative 5x. Then I would take the 2, so I've multiplied the x times both of these. Now I'll just use a different color. Now I'm going to take the 2 and multiply it times the x, so I'd get plus 2x. And then I would take the 2 and multiply times the negative 5. Well, 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. So once I've done that and I've multiplied everything, then I just combine like terms. So the like terms will be in the middle. So I have x squared minus 3x minus 10. And my answer will be another polynomial, like a trinomial. All right, that's the first way to do it. Let's do FOIL now. Okay, so we've checked off distribution, we've done that. Now we're going to FOIL. And FOIL just stands for first. That means we're going to multiply the first 2 terms together. Then we're going to multiply the outer 2 terms together, the inner 2 terms together, and the last 2 terms together. And this only works if you're multiplying binomials. So let's get started. So the first 2 terms, FOIL, are these 2 terms, the first term in each polynomial. So multiply the first 2 terms together. So you get 3 times 2, that makes 6. X times x is x squared. Then you're going to do the outer terms. So that would be, the outer terms would be this 3 here, 3x, and that's 7. So the outer terms, multiply those 2 together. So 3x times a negative 7 would give me negative 21x. Then I would multiply the inner 2 terms. So these are the inner 2 terms right here. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2x. And then the last terms. So the last terms would be the negative 1 times a negative 7. Negative 1 times negative 7 is positive 7. Then you will combine like terms, which your terms will be in the middle. So you have 6x squared. Then you have these 2 added together, which makes negative 23x minus 7. So your answer again is another polynomial, a trinomial. So remember that FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, and last. And that's the FOIL method. Now I'm going to show you the last one, which is the box method. All right, so now for the box method. First of all, notice that I have 2 terms in the first polynomial and 2 terms in the second polynomial. So that means I'm going to create a 2 by 2 box here. 2 by 2 box. So I'm going to take the first polynomial and I'm going to write it up here. So I put the negative 5x and then I put plus 3 and then I'd put the negative x minus 4. And then what I would do is I'm going to do kind of like what you would do maybe in science. You're going to multiply, in the first box, I'm going to multiply these 2 together. So I get a negative times a negative, that makes a positive. Negative 1 times negative 5 is positive 5. X times x is x squared. Then in the second box, I would get a negative 3x because I multiply those 2 terms together. Again, you're multiplying this one and that one. And then you multiply the negative 4 times the negative 5x and you get 20x. And then a negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. And then when you do that, your like terms will always be in this diagonal box there. So then I combine everything and I get 5x squared. I get plus 17x when I add the 20 and the negative 3, and then minus 12. And that's going to be my answer. And that is the box method. All right, so let's do a little practice now that you know all three methods. All right, so you can try this on your own if you know how to do it, and then you can double check. Otherwise, you can watch me do FOIL. So I'll pick FOIL. You can do whatever method you choose. So FOIL, remember, is the first two terms. So x times x is x squared. Then the outer terms, which would be x and the 2. So x times 2 is plus 2x. The inner would be these two here. So negative 2 times x. This is negative 2x. And then the last two terms. So you get a negative times a positive, which makes a negative 4. And again, I'm going to combine these two together, and notice that they cancel out, so I get x squared minus 4. All right, number 5, I have x plus 4 squared. Now, the answer is not x squared plus 16. That's the most common mistake people make. That is not how you do it. So what you're going to do is you actually have to write them out, and you have to do x plus 4 times x plus 4. So then you could do FOIL, or we could just distribute, or we could do the box method. So let's try the box method. So here's the box. We have a 2 by 2 because you have binomial times a binomial. X plus 4, x plus 4. So x times x, x squared. Then here I have 4x. Here I have 4x. And then 4 times 4 is 16. Then I would combine those two together. So I get x squared plus 8x plus 16. Pretty simple. All right, so I'm going to show you two ways to do this problem. It's a little different because you have a binomial multiplied by a trinomial. So let's do first just distribute. So to do just distribute, you would take each term in the first polynomial and multiply it by each term in the second polynomial. So you do x times x squared, that's x cubed. And then you could do x times negative 5x, which would be negative 5x squared. And then x times 6, which would be 6x. Then you could take the 2 now and multiply the 2 times everything. So you get 2x squared. And then 2 times negative 5 is negative 10x. And then 2 times 6, which is 12. And now you combine like terms. And you'll notice you have a negative 5x squared and a 2x squared. So you'll never have more than one x cubed. So x cubed will go to the front. Negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3x squared. And then you have 6x minus 10x, so you get negative 4x. And then the 12 will be at the end. And that would be your answer. So let's do this with the box method, because I kind of like the box method, at least some of my students have before. All right, first you have 2 terms here and 3 terms there. So you're going to do a 2 by 3 box now. So you can do it however you want. I'll do 2 this way. So 2 that way, and then 3 this way. So I'd put the x plus 2 here, x plus 2, and then x squared minus 5x plus 6 here. Then I would multiply in my little boxes. So I get these two would be x cubed. Then I get negative 5x squared. You're multiplying these two together, and then you get 6x. Then down here I would get 2x squared. Here I'd get negative 10x, and then I would get 12. Now, when I combine like terms, notice the like terms will be diagonal across from each other. So I'd get x cubed by itself. These two would be negative 3x squared. And then these would also be combined. So I'd get negative 4x plus 12. So I get the same answer, it's just a different strategy. Again, you get to choose which kind you would like to do. All right, we've got a couple more problems to go. All right, so now we're going to solve two word problems that involve geometry. Find the area of a rectangle with a length of x plus 2 and a width of x plus 10. So we're finding the area. Remember, area is equal to length times width. So we're just going to multiply those together. So x plus 2 times x plus 10. And this time we can do FOIL. Why not? Let's do the FOIL method. So first terms together. So the first two terms are x times x, which is x squared. Then FOIL. O stands for outer. So the outer two terms would be the x times the 10, and that makes 10x. And then the inner two terms would be these two, so plus 2x. And then the last terms would be the 2 times the 10, and 2 times 10 is 20. Now I combine the two terms in the middle, and I would get x squared plus 12x plus 20. And that would be my answer. All right, last problem. All right, number 8, it says the length of a square board is 2x minus 3. Find the area of the board. So if it is a square, that means all the sides are the same. And if you want to find the area, you're going to multiply the length times the width, or take the side and square it. So that means we're just going to take 2x minus 3 and multiply times 2x minus 3. Now you can pause it and check your answer if you would like to work it on your own and then check. I'll do the box method on this one just because I'm switching it up. So I get 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3. Multiply that together, 4x squared, negative 6x, negative 6x, and then positive 9. Combine like terms, 4x squared minus 12x plus 9 would be your answer. And we're done. So, hope you enjoyed the lesson and learning the three different methods. Remember, they are distribute as normal, FOIL, and then the box method. Have a great day.